Hey, how's it going everyone? Hope everyone's doing well today. Probably going to try and get at least one extra science pack knocked off today, I think. We've got, I think, everything but the yellow and the space science done. Well, at least a basic setup done for those earlier science packs. Obviously we could probably increase the capacity a little bit further on those ones. But we'll try and get at least yellow done. Space sciences will probably not get anywhere near that today or so. We'll probably just work on increasing the resource production. So we'll actually probably first up, we'll have a quick look at what we need to get yellow science done. And then we'll actually, I'm guessing probably need to get a few more resource pages connected up. We did actually get the defensive wall in place in the previous stream, so should be safe relatively from the alien attacks. We did actually get some attacks in the base after I installed the defensive wall, so what we'll do, I'm going to quickly run down here and just plop a radar down. We'll put a couple down. I just want to scan this bottom area of the map just to see if we've left any spawners inside the defensive wall, but that's the defensive wall there. We'll go through it gradually over time and actually reduce increase the number of laser turrets that we have in certain positions, depending on what sort of attacks we get. So we'll keep an eye on attacks as they happen as well, because basically all I'm going to do is, I just noticed my screen is not aligned there, 1 second. Interesting. Factorio window is not lined up for some reason. Not sure why. How does that look on the stream? Let's have a quick look on the playback. Background music down just a little bit more as well. How do we look? Yeah, I can actually see other stuff around it as well, which is probably not good. Not quite filling up the entire thing, is it? Let's try that. That's better. There we go. Finally got there. So yeah, let's have a quick look what we need for yellow science, and then we'll probably get some resources connected up. Yellow science, which is now I think called utility science. Yeah, processing units, flying robot frames, low density structures. Well, processing units is relatively easy, because it's pretty straightforward. Has it always been? That's changed. That recipe has changed. It didn't used to be low density structures. Which is interesting. You actually have to use low density structures before. A lot of all the resources pretty much. So we'll probably work through some of the research that we can do with the science we currently have unlocked. So we'll see if there's anything useful that we really need to get done. I wouldn't mind getting power armor, although we kind of need processing units to make that, don't we? So I'd have to get processing units up and running. So I think we might concentrate on doing some resource gathering. We'll probably stick just with belts as well. Not going to worry about trains at least for a little while on this map. We can do everything up to yellow signs, so pretty much everything up to here we can do. There's a bunch that are locked that we can do as well. The other option is to start working towards space science, rocket silo, Geet rockets. I wonder if they've changed the recipe for the rocket parts. Let's have a look. Is there any other technologies that I would find useful? What do these unlock? Nothing that I use. The logistics would be nice. Maybe we go for logistics. So I think I might have already got that unlocked. I think they've changed what's required to get logistics chests in this version. Yeah, yeah, it's super cheap now. Well, not well. I think it's cheaper. Is that cheaper than it used to be? Yellow science? No, that's actually no. That's the same. Because yeah, still need to get to yellow science to get the logistics chests. We probably will be able to get that unlocked today, I think. Logistics system. Maybe we just go from cheapest to most expensive research, although I don't know if I want to spend resources on some of these other things that I'm probably not going to be using. So what we will do, we'll actually do the things that lead up to the rocket silo. Start research. Unless I can think of something else that I actually need to do. We can't do that because that's yellow. Okay, it's got a few things going at least. We've got a few resource patches inside the wall here, so we've got a couple of iron patches and a few copper patches. We'll probably try and get, I think, expanded out to maybe 3 belts of iron, 2 belts of copper. I've left a little bit of space in the middle there to do that. We'll have a quick look at the power situation, which is getting pretty close. We may need to look at getting an extra power setup done. I don't think I've got any uranium inside the defensive wall. No. And I can't actually see any at all on the map, so maybe we do get that extra iron connected up and produce some solar panels. Because at this early stage, just a handful of solar panels can offset some of the coal usage, so we might do that. I think we can probably expand and get another power plant running, which we'll have to do if we're going to get more mining on the ground. There is a little bit of coal, but I don't really want to waste it. We'll probably have to get this big one connected up, I think, at some point. What I'd probably do there is actually run a defensive wall all the way to the water and then actually run a little land bridge across with a belt, I think. Well, that's probably far enough away to actually justify making a train, perhaps. Let's have a quick look. How many boilers do we have there? 14. We've still got 7 boilers here. We've got a bit of extra capacity left in this power plant, although it is using a lot of coal. But I think we'll expand this for now. And then we'll get those resource patches connected up. The problem with I probably do need to get solar power, now that I think about it. So the problem is if I get extra mining connected up, I'm going to need more power, which is going to consume even more coal. The other option is, so I think you can actually put oil in, can you put oil in boilers? I think you can, like barreled oil. Oh, you can put solid fuel. Well, we can probably make solid fuel, so I think that's actually available at the moment. Solid fuel, yep, we can make solid fuel. Actually, I think well, we can always test, I suppose. Let's grab one of these. I want to test to see if we can actually use light oil or heavy oil in a boiler. I've got a sneaking suspicion. Actually, no. Now I think about it, you can't. Because let's grab some iron so we can make some extra steam engines, because there's no fluid connection apart from the water and the steam. There's no other fluid connections for the boilers. Okay, that'll sort power out for a little while. Let's grab some electric mining drills and a bunch of belts. Can we max out this patch of iron that I've already got connected up anymore? No, we cannot. That is as maxed out as it's going to get, so yeah. Oh, there's a little bit of extra iron, I suppose we get, but it's not that much in that little area there. I think we're still using the patch that would be considered the starter area patch. I really should make a note of when I start a playthrough how much is in each patch. Just to know how much I've used. Although we can always check, I suppose, if we check production and consumption. And totals all. 357k, so that's probably puts that at what? About 400k-ish? 4.5, yeah. So these are a pretty significant bump up in iron, these other patches. Let's grab some electric mining drills. Let's grab all the electric mining drills and make a few extras as well. Kind of need to clear my inventory here a bit as well. Should be fine. And we're going to need a bunch of belts as well. I did actually manage to get the modular armor and night vision in the previous stream, so it's a little bit brighter now at night time, which is good. Where are we heading? Actually, there's a few smaller patches. I don't think in terms of actual work done, I don't think it's worth getting those smaller ones plugged in. It's going to take a lot of belts, but that's fine. Belts are relatively cheap. We'll go for this one first. We'll take the belt. We'll go up along the wall. Let's grab some cliff explosives. I've got actually probably that's enough cliff explosives, I think, to do it. I'm probably not going to have enough belts, I don't think. Let's grab some extra electric poles as well. Yeah, I'm probably not going to have enough belts, I don't think, so we'll come back and get some extra ones. The only reason I want to get power armor online is just to increase my movement speed a little bit. I'm a little bit sluggish at the moment. Electric poles. We need a lot of. Probably check the same thing for coal as well. 142k there. We've consumed a total of... So basically we've got as much left as we've consumed so far, and this is... yeah, so... we're probably going to be okay for coal, I think, for a while. It's going to be probably a few days before we need to actually get this one connected up, this big patch. The only problem with this patch here is it's really small. Let's try and get the entire thing covered straight away. Perfect. There we'll go up along the wall, which will serve a double purpose of allowing us to move a little bit more quickly up the wall. We'll connect the power up via the wall on this one as well. Or we can do it there as well. That's actually where the connection for the wall is coming from. But let's do it over here. Excellent. Smelting is happening there for the iron, so it probably makes more sense actually to cut across a lot sooner. We're probably trying to avoid, we'll move across the top of that copper and then we'll come back in. Like I was saying before, I think we're probably not going to have enough belts to do this. This is sort of getting to the length where it's more worthwhile to actually do trains. Oops, that's too far. I want to try and get most of these early technologies done without going to trains though. I'm probably going to save the trains for the next playthrough, I think. Be right going straight across from there. So I think we'll probably have to put the next smelting higher up. I think this coal is slightly in the way. We should... Can I force that to run out sooner? We'll probably move this smelting down a little bit, I suppose. I didn't really leave enough room for the smelting in there. We could pretty much put that smelting anywhere, but I do kind of want to have it all in one big block. Let's have a look. We have the control copy tool now, so we can actually check the height of things pretty easily. That coal is in the way. We'd probably have to move this down a little bit, I think, this smelting. Get rid of that last strip of electric mine drills. And we're out of belts. How far in did we get? About half the way there. It looks like research is stalled as well, so we'll have a look at that. All of this stuff can be pulled out now as well. I need defenses in the base. I'll leave those radars down the bottom there scanning for a little while, but I'm pretty sure we've gotten rid of all the bugs that were inside the defensive wall. I just noticed as well, these are actually in need of an upgrade. Ooh, actually I should probably get rid of that now, that's fine. I actually had a chest there for dumping off slow belts, but I think we've gone through all the slow belts that we had. What is holding you up? Gears? Gear production speed primarily looks like is the thing that's holding us up there. It's not a power issue, is it? No. We might actually add an extra assembler machine in there to make some extra gears to speed up fast belts just a little bit. It's actually surprising how little copper smelting I've got set up at the moment. We might actually expand that, I think. How's copper going? Yeah, we'll definitely expand copper. Almost there. Can we squeeze another gear? I think we can. And I think, yeah, we'll grab some stack inserters here. Oh, which I've already got in my inventory. Nice. Even 2's having a hard time getting out. It's definitely going to be faster than it was before though, but yeah. Let's actually extend that even more. Hi Zeke. We might actually move the smelting somewhere else. Do we have any space? I probably could move the power, I suppose, and put the smelting up there. I could put the smelting pretty much anywhere, but I kind of want to keep it in this block if we can. It's just a shame that coal is in the way. What's this here? That's steel smelting. I'm kind of tempted to actually get some. I'm going to try and get some speed modules into that and just try and speed up the coal mining just for these few here. Most of these are already out. Actually, these are. Yeah, I think we'll just put some speed modules in those. I think we've got speed module production somewhere. We'll just try and get that that extra little bit of coal mined out there. We'll probably fit 3 sets of smelting in there, I think. Where are the? I just noticed as well this has been destroyed at some point. Where were we? Belts. Yeah, let's have a look. Do we have speed modules somewhere? I think there was one of the science packs uses speed modules. No, productivity modules. 15 seconds. Red circuits are a little bit low due to copper. Let's grab some of those. Let's make some of those and try and boost copper a little bit. Do we have any steel furnaces that I can swap those over for? Steel. Let's start swapping some of these. I think this is still a slow belt as well, but we're not actually consuming all that copper. So we'll get to the point where we're consuming all that copper, and then we'll worry about. And then we'll worry about increasing the speed of copper coming in. Actually, I just realised, because we're not using or stockpiling slow belts, I'm going to have to replace that with fast belts. I think I've got a few slow belts stockpiled here that I can use though. Also, we have to remember, we've got this control copy option now. Yeah, so what we'll do on this playthrough is actually, we'll get all of the sciences unlocked, and we'll launch a couple of rockets, and I'll go through and do a redesign on the voltage version of science that's slightly more optimal. And then we'll probably start a new playthrough after that, I think. Can we move that further down? Nice. Yep. I should probably automate steel furnace production, I think. Steel... we do it in here. We're unlikely to be doing any military research. I kind of want to grab from the end of this though. Back here will be fine. And then we can get the steel from this. Actually, copper's already backing up. I'm almost surprised how little copper you need at the start of this game. Okay, so we've got a couple of speed modules here. Which one of these has got the most coal underneath it? Okay. We can actually save a little bit of space here, I think, as well. Don't think there's any coal underneath any of these. We'll probably squeeze it up a little bit closer. We can definitely remove these ones. Anyway, we'll let that mine out. I probably will temporarily move. We might actually do some belt balancing as well here. It's something that I probably won't be doing in most playthroughs, but just to get us started, I think belt balancing might be useful. So what we're going to do is move all of this down. Let's remove these small electric poles from this as well. Now, unfortunately, you can't actually burn small electric poles in boilers anymore. If you finish using the small electric poles, they're pretty much useless. And you can sort of figure it out, I suppose, based on their current speed and the amount of resources. You can actually probably, I'm sure there's probably a way of doing it just with the circuit, but you can actually read the remaining resources with a circuit. And then you could use that to calculate how much time is left. Actually, what we're going to do is go snip and snip. I'm going to kill our iron production completely for a little while here. Although I do actually want to consume... I'll just have to pick up that coal, I suppose. There's probably no real clean way to get rid of it. We'll get rid of as much of this stuff as we can. We'll move this down. Let's have a look. How much space do we need to put in one more set? Move that down to there. If we put this like right next to where the steel is, we're probably a ways off getting 3 sets in there. That coal though. How far in does that coal actually go? Let's remove some of these as well. These ones are empty. Empty. I want to get 3 sets of... we'll have to probably put the 3rd set of smelting somewhere else, I think. Or what we can do is, because this belt is producing a smaller amount, move this up so that it actually fits in this space in here, which is what we might do. So grab as much as we can, so let's move this to there. And we'll move as much of this as we can into there. And also we'll go fairly high up, leave plenty of room for the other ones. So I suppose what we'll do is we'll go there, and then we can put the next iron smelting in there. Nope, I just want to drop the blueprint. Oops. Gotta remember, always remove inserters first. Yeah, I'll probably hold off most of the serious design work until I can get my personal robot ports up and running. Just to make it a little bit quicker to do design work. No. Don't want that. Okay. And that is iron in. Let's dump the coal into the power. Gotta love that copy-paste functionality in the game now. So we're going to put 3 sets of iron smelting. That is the coal line, which we'll have to divert from somewhere else for the copper smelting. Not sure how I feel about that. The way they've changed placement of belts, you can't actually override to undergrounds anymore. It's an interesting change. Let's grab some steel furnaces. And then we'll have to go through and actually adjust the bus to accommodate the extra iron that's coming through. Steel furnaces. We should have a few more fast belts saved up now as well. Not that many. Enough to finish what we're doing though, I think. Let's keep that. I'm not sure how many. I think it's 24. I think they've actually changed the capacity of the belts here, so we need to be a little bit careful of the number of furnaces we put in. Okay, and iron belt number 2. Looks like they've improved slow inserters grabbing things off fast belts as well. I'm not seeing, I don't think I'm seeing, maybe a little bit of stuttering. Yeah, it looks like there used to be a major problem with the slow inserters getting stuff off fast belts, but it looks like that's been improved. temporary fix. I suppose we probably should put the balance after the extraction points. Looks like that's actually fixed any of the iron problems that we had. Let's have a quick look at science, but I think that's stalled for some reason. It's probably an oil related thing would be my guess. Liking blue science, which is, yeah, it's probably oil related. Oh, is that one? That's kind of smallish. It's probably comparable to the one, the starter patch, I think, that copper there. Maybe slightly bigger. But these ones here are definitely going to be the ones we'll want to get connected up. Okay, it's definitely not oil. Actually, it's definitely no problems at all with the blue science. Oh, yeah. It could be the fact that it's not plugged in. That's probably the reason why it's not working, I would guess. Whoops. Shouldn't have done that. I actually have a circuit that's connected up to the science production so we don't overproduce science. Okay, science is back. I think we'll just expand resources as we need to. Let's have a look at yellow science, I think. Actually, what's the time? Yeah, we'll have a quick look at yellow science. See what we need. Low density structures, I think, were fairly straightforward. Plastic. We'll have to get plastic into the bus. I might set up a separate thing for making plastic, or the other option is we could expand this plastic and extract plastic from, which is what I've done in the past, which I think we'll probably do again here. We can actually add a few extra chemical plants in and then do an extraction of plastic right here into the bus. And put that on the other side of reds. Put plastic right there. Until we actually need a lot more plastic. I think just the plastic we're getting out of the red circuit should be enough for now. Good. Okay, let's grab some assemblers. Let's have a look at yellow science. Utility science. Speed is, I think, comparable to the other ones. 3, although it is 3 packs instead of 2. I think production's the same. Yeah, it's the same speed as that. So we'll go for the same number. 4 assemblers. 2 processing units. So 1 every 10, which is 1 each. grab some more assemblers. So yeah, 1-to-1 pretty much for the, it's actually slightly, one assembler for one yellow science pack is actually slightly more than you need. I think what we'll do is once we've got all the science packs up and running, we'll probably go to a Factorio calculator and actually get the exact numbers that we need for all the assemblers for a slightly cleaner version of the belter design. Okay, so that needs, and also it's probably going to be an issue of input capacity for the processing units. Like the number of green circuits you need is pretty high. 20. Let's have a quick look actually. I want to check before we go too far here. I'm pretty sure they did change the capacity of the belts. And at this point it's actually going to affect my gameplay a little bit, so let's have a quick look. I think they changed it to like 10, 20 and 30 or something. Belts. Transport belts. Fast transport belts. Max throughput items per game second 30. So what did they change the slow ones to? 15. Okay, so was it always 15? What did it used to be? It used to be like 13, 26 and 40 I think, and they've changed it to 15, 30 and 45. Okay, so it makes probably slightly more sense, but it's actually just multiples of each other. So fast 30, which means, yeah, we could probably get away with just putting a mixed belt here, reds and greens for that. I don't think that'll be a problem. Stack inserters, and then we need to get the fluids in. Which might be tricky if we have them right next to each other like that. I don't think there's a way of doing it. Let's grab some extra pipes. Yeah, we'll have a look. Now, what else do we need? Flying robot frame, which is going to be slightly more complicated because that actually needs lubricant as well, and also engine production. It almost makes me wonder maybe we should put engines in the bus. I think there's a couple of things that are using engines here. Yeah, we've got engines getting made down here. There's actually 2 science packs that are using engines now. Anyway. Ten. I suppose that's actually for flying robot frames. 21. So we actually need 1 flying robot frame. This is actually kind of expensive now that I look at it. 1 flying robot frame. 20, 1 engine. So one of the, it's going to be like that. This is 10. That's 10. So something like that. And then these match up with these as well. What's the other thing we need? 3 low density structures. They're slow as well, so that's going to be a 1-to-1 as well. Interesting. If there was 2 items, there might be a way of doing direct insertion cleanly, but I don't think there is because there's 3 items. So we're probably not going to bother with direct insertion here, I don't think. No, we're not going to bother with direct insertion. We might come back to the that later on, but for now, we'll stick with a slightly cleaner design, a slightly simpler design. Because we'd have to have... 3 inserters. I suppose you could always go... Top and bottom would be easy enough. you need to insert from somewhere else as well. Processing units is pretty small, so you could probably share processing units with something else, have top and bottom. Which would leave a little bit of extra room for the fluids as well. And let's say we put low density structures there as well, because that only needs probably one belt for copper, one belt for the plastic and steel, and then you could run the belt for the red and green circuits underneath, perhaps, and then do the engine production on the other side, the flying robot frame production on the other side. Something like that. Although they should probably be close together. These would actually have to be further apart then, if we're going to do that. Low density structures and process units. Yeah, because if you want to do direct insertion, you don't want to have it so it's like this, because then you wouldn't be getting enough of these for this. Actually, no, you would. That's 10, and that's 20. So it's actually 20. These ones you need 2 of. You need like one of these per one of these, like that. But the process units you can actually have one for every 2. Of these. The other option would be to make it longer and have the processing units in between, like that. Have, which is actually starting to look a little bit bigger than what I'd like, and have flying robot frames in the bottom, like that. Although these again be like that, because yeah, that doesn't quite work, because the flying robot frames are the same, I think. No, that's a one-to-one as well. It's actually the components for that's shared, so yeah, that would probably work. You'd only have one inserter for those, like that. They insert into there, that inserts into that. Flying robot frames. Electric engines, and you can put the basic engines wherever, just depending on where you're going to get the resources in. You need gears and pipes and steel for that as well. It's 10, 20, 21, 20. Let's check. Let's see if the belts can fit into this design. I'm kind of liking that. Inserter there. This might work. Yeah, so this will be red and greens. One of these will be copper and one of them will be steel and plastic. Then we need to get the fluids in for this. Might be better on the bottom. Or actually putting this further across, perhaps. But that actually needs to continue on as well to the next set of production. Putting that there. And then pipes in there. Although I do need to actually carry that pipe on as well. So it might not work having... We'd always shift these up and put the pipe somewhere else. Put the insertion for this maybe there. Or down is the other option, because nothing needs to be inserted into the bottom of this. It actually means that this area is open. But we still need to leave room to actually extract the yellow science as well. Keep that in mind. No, it doesn't reach. That's one problem with this setup. We could always put them further apart. Put this in the middle. Then we still need to find a place to actually extract the yellow science from, I suppose. No? Why didn't it let me do that? Can't mix fluids. Oh, well that's kind of strange. We probably don't need to use stack inserters for that one. Yeah, I'd still need to leave a position to actually extract the yellow science. It doesn't quite work for the lubricant input on that either. That'll join up there no matter what we do. So we can't put the pipes on the same side really. Long-handed inserters is always an option here because they're fairly low quantity items. It's only really the loading side that needs to be stack inserters. The offloading can be long-handed inserters. So we could actually move this further down if we wanted to. Down to there. And use long-handed inserters to transfer that across. And then use fast inserters to get the science out. So we actually move that even further down, put the long-handed inserter there. Not worry about the extraction for the moment. There'll be plenty of positions to get the science out, I think. The engine's there. robot frames. Again, that was... Actually, no, that's 1-to-1, isn't it? That doesn't work. I think we can output onto splitters as well. Actually, no, you can't. There are certain... You can extract from splitters, but you can't output to splitters. So we couldn't do that, for example. Oh, these need batteries as well. I just realised. Probably need to put batteries into the bus. Which we can take from this process, I suppose. We're not making that many laser turrets, so we'll just steal the batteries from there. These need a lot of different components, don't they? Electric engines we'll assume we're getting from here. Okay. The problem with this setup is that fasten scissors do not reach across there, which makes getting resources into this a little bit tricky. So the notion of actually having direct insertion of these doesn't quite work. Probably this instead. Flying robot frames. Electric engines. So what's the quantities we need for these? Fairly low quantities for everything there. 3 different items though. Steel we also need for engines. So we probably want to share the steel with this. And we also need to leave room to get the yellow signs out from somewhere. We've got that position available, I suppose. We can actually shift that around. And bring belts in here. Put steel on the bottom belt. And then use a long-handed instead, which is kind of ugly, but it'll probably work. And let us actually get the steel. How much steel do we actually need for the engines? Not very much, just 1. Actually do that if the steel was on this. Just probably put steel and batteries on the bottom belt, and then put green circuits. We could actually also put the output for the yellow science on one of these belts as well, one of these input belts, because we only actually need 3 lanes on these belts for this, because the electric engines are coming from here. So if we put green circuits on the top of this belt, put green circuits on the top of this belt, we can actually output the yellow signs to the bottom of it, and then filter it out at the other end. Maybe that's one option. And we still need to get gears and pipes into the engines. So iron for that. Which I think we can actually share between it's looking kind of convoluted now, this, but it does use a lot of direct insertion, which I do usually like to do if possible. I can go like that. Gears, pipes, and then we need to get iron into both of these, and that can actually be shared with the next thing of engine production, but I think that needs to be moved across a bit, I think. Let's have a quick look. Because they can go right against each other. Oh, actually no, then we need to have at least a 2 space because of the way I'm getting the belts in. Which is probably not ideal, is it? I don't think there's any way to really get a lot of these belts in on the outside. Which means that would have to be there. Which means we cannot really share the gear, and I suppose we could actually move that to there. All there. Let's grab some extra pipes. Actually, I've got I can probably make them in my inventory. So that's engines. It's not quite centered, is it? It's this 2 space. Because fast belts only reach 6. We could actually put this on the outside, I think. This one might be trickier though. Actually no, this is actually, oh no, because we need to actually do the insertion in the middle. We'd probably do, yeah, the insertion has to go in the middle for this. I don't think we can do it on the outside. This one here, we can actually change so that it was on the outside, like this. That actually has to be inserted into there as well. Which would let us put the next set close together. Actually, we can shift those close together as well. I wonder what it looks like with these ones close together. We'd still need to get the red and green circuits from somewhere. Oh, it still, this still wouldn't reach, would it? The underground belts still wouldn't reach. with basically the exact same setup that it was before. We move slightly further across, which means this can be moved slightly further in, I suppose. I think we'll just go for the extra spacing. It's going to be very, very spaced out, this one. At least until we get the express belt in, we'll probably be able to squish it up a little bit. And then that might let us... If we've got a space in here, we can probably use one of these spaces here to get the yellow signs out, I suppose. Gears and pipes there. It's a bit of a mess. Just check the inputs on these again, just to make sure. Copper is going to be... Actually, either or, doesn't really matter. Copper is on one belt though, and then steel and plastics on the other belt. Loading C structures are done. That goes into utility signs. Process units is going to be red and green circuits on this. Goes into... Red and green circuits goes into process units. Sulfuric acid comes in from there. Flying robot frames. Do we have steel? That's actually steel coming in a few locations here, but I think we'll probably do a separate extraction point for all the different sets of steel. Actually, how much steel is actually getting used? We could probably do one extraction point for the entire factory and then split it out, I think, actually. Like this, and then extract it out for there and also for the engines. Steel, batteries, green circuits. That's 3 items. Actually, the other option is we can actually put the yellow signs onto this one of these belts here. Green circuits, so we actually need... Is it going to reach across there? So we'll put green circuits onto the top one. And lubricant and basic engines for that as well. Like that. That needs steel as well, and then the gears and pipes. Like that. And then this needs iron. We're probably not going to be expanding this, but if we use a splitter, that'll actually give us the opportunity to expand it if we want to later on. I don't think we will. Like that, and that'll be iron coming in there. We won't worry about splitter just now, but we can actually add that in later on if we want. I think that's the only thing that needs iron directly, yeah. I think we plug this in and see what happens. I'm sure I've missed something, but we'll find out. We need to actually start producing lubricant as well. So the question is, do we want to produce lubricant on site, or do we want to pipe that in? That's heavy oil, isn't it, lubricant? Yeah. Do I have heavy oil in the bus? I don't think I do. So yeah, we'll probably pipe lubricant in from somewhere else. Probably no point in actually making it on site, I don't think. Because there's a few other processes that need lubricant as well. I think that'll work. We'll have a short break and we'll come back and we'll plug all this in. I think I've got all the... Oh, the only thing I need to figure out is how I'm going to get the yellow signs out. Which we'll probably do like this. Like so. So we can do this one there as well. And then we'll make sure we put the green circuits on the bottom of this belt here. I think that'll work. Yeah, so we'll have a short break and we'll come back, we'll get all this plugged in. Get the yellow signs up and running. Okay, let's see if we can get all this plugged in. We don't actually need all that. For now, at least. Definitely looks interesting. We'll worry about the... actually, I think that's pretty much everything on the inside, so let's see if we can get fairly clean coverage with power as well. Good. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so what do we need? Copper. Steel and plastic. That should get us low density structures going. Excellent. And then green and red circuits on this one. We'll join that up. We might join that up further down and then bring it back in, I think. It's a little bit crowded in here to do another split, I think. Yeah, we can't use that underground position there, can we? No. Okay, so red and greens. And then sulfuric acid. Right, I suppose we're going to be pinching batteries from here, so we might as well take the sulfuric acid as well. Maybe. Don't know. We may have to up our sulfuric acid production a little bit. We also need to add in a lubricant production into the oil as well. It's actually probably only really batteries. What am I doing? It's probably only really the yellow science that needs batteries, I suppose. So could we just belt it in directly? Okay, let's grab some more belts. We'll get the we'll just use the sulfuric acid from here for now. Where can we grab that from? Green circuit looks like it's completely stopped for some reason. Oh, was I disconnected the iron? Of course. We'll almost certainly have to expand our green circuit production as well. Okay. Processing units are happening. Very, very, very slowly. Power's fine. 110. This is only one every 21 seconds, so it should be fine. And then we're just missing the flying robot frames. So there's going to be green circuits on this belt, just on the bottom of that belt. Gets green circuits into that, and then the so the science is going to come out here and then go into the top of this belt, and then at the very end we'll extract the science out down here using a filter inserter, not a filter inserter, a filter splitter. Output yellow science only. Okay, what are we missing? I was going to take the steel from this. We could still do that using a filter splitter. Now, I'm really going through underground belts there. So I don't think we need that much steel, so I don't know if it's really worth extracting extra steel. It's only a relatively small amount we need for that. I think if we were going to expand it to make a lot of science, we probably need to get some more steel going, but for the amount of science I'm doing, I think it's going to be plenty. What am I after? Underground belts. Yeah, look at green circuits definitely needs to be increased. And also batteries for for these. So this actually needs batteries and steel. I should have grabbed some belts. Let's grab some belts. We'll bring the batteries down as well. That still lets steel through on the top? It doesn't. Okay, so we can't really do that then, can we? We need to actually have two splitters to do that, so we might actually just run a separate steel belt in, I think. It's probably going to be simpler. Oh. Okay. That's a bit of a mistake. Didn't have the insertion for the batteries and steel. It's pretty low quantity. We could probably use long-handed inserters for that, I think. And then green circuits as well. We good? Just waiting on the engines. That doesn't actually need a stack inserter there either. A fast inserter will be fine. So now we're just waiting on the engines and the lubricant, I think. Yep, and also resources for this. So we need iron. And steel, which we may pinch from here instead. Nope. Okay, engines, 1 every 10, 1 every 10, so that's 1 to 1. 1 engine every 20, that's fine for 2 of those. 1 every 20 of those goes into these, which is, well, 3 every 21. And then we just need to get the lubricant coming in for the electric engines. It's looking a little bit patchy as well. I might have broken steel at some point. But what we'll do is temporarily just pipe lubricant in from up here, I think. Do we need water for that? No, just heavy oil. Let's find a spot. Yeah, lubricant production is not the most complicated thing in Factorio, that's for sure. And we'll put that into the bus whereabouts. Gonna have to weave it through a little bit, I think. Probably right in there. Oh, that's sulfuric acid. Yeah, maybe here instead. It's a little bit messy, this factory. That's fairly typical for a starter factory. Where are we getting it from? Way over there. Do we get yellow signs now? Power's looking fine. Yellow science is on its way. then we'll just belt that. So we'll just keep that amount of yellow science installed for now. Then we'll belt it up and join that into the blue science belt. We also need to control production on the yellow science. Actually, looks like blue science is stalled, or it's just been deactivated. Actually, blue science is already sharing about. Yellow science needs to go on a separate. But we actually need to use the other side of the other side of the science now. That's blue. Let's move that across. Yeah, so separate belt for the yellow science now. And then the space science will go on the same belt. Actually, is that right? What am I missing? I'm missing one of the science packs here. There should be a total of four belts. I haven't done the purple science. I thought I did. Do I not have that plugged in? I don't have it plugged in. Ew. Ew, ew, ew. Well, that's a problem. I suppose we'll bring this across and join that up to the yellow belt. I didn't plug this in for some reason. Okay. So yeah, we'll bring that across through here. And also we need to control that with circuits. And that'll join up to the yellow belt. What do we need? Inserters. Okay, so that'll detect if there is science there, and then turn off the science production if we've got it backed up on the belt. And then we also need to set up the filter inserters to pass yellow and purple science through to the other labs. I'm guessing the research that we're currently trying to do is needing purple. And we actually need to add an output in for this one as well. This yellow science. It's actually stopped for some reason. It's probably fluid related, yeah. So we'll fix that in a minute. So outputs for these. Is it going to reach new? It is not. Okay, and then filter inserters to pass the science through to the other labs. What do we need? We need purple and yellow. I'm not actually using yellow science at the moment, but let's see what's holding it up. I think it was sulfuric acid. So I think next time we'll get a few more patches of resources connected up. We might start making solar panels just to offset some of the power usage. What's our power usage at the moment looking like? Yeah, we've still got plenty of power available. We're probably going to run out of coal pretty soon, I think. And we are out of sulfuric acid because why? Like a petroleum gas probably? No, plenty of petroleum gas. No sulfuric acid because no water. I've unplugged the water at some point. Yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely. It just finishes right there. Where did the water come from? Over here, probably. Sulfuric acid is back, making processing units again, so we should be back in yellow science now. I think we're good though. we'll probably leave it there for the day. Just make sure we're still producing down here. How's lubricant? Lubricant's fine. Sulfuric acid's probably the only thing that could be boosted a little bit down here. But yeah, I think tomorrow we'll work on getting some resources built up and start working towards the space science. Although now that we've got yellow, also what we'll do is add the logistics chest to the queue, so we can actually start getting logistics setups. I still want to do a belted version. I don't know if I'll keep this as the setup for the yellow science. It was an interesting design challenge, but I think I'll go for a slightly more linear design in the future. Just want to make sure this yellow science is actually going to the labs. Got a little bit of yellow science I can dump out here as well. That should just get joined up to this belt, yeah. Up to the labs. We just need to boost some of these more expensive science packs, I think. We don't quite have enough of the purple and the yellow coming out at the moment. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there for now. I'll be back tomorrow about the same time again. We'll try and get a start on the space science, but it's probably going to be more sort of logistics work, I think. And getting a few more resources connected up, because we do need to stockpile quite a few resources for the... We can always just, I suppose, get the rocket silo unlocked and built. I don't think it's that expensive to do. And then we'll work to actually getting the resources built from there. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.